The ear has three regions that perform specific functions in hearing. The outer ear gathers sound waves and consists of the ear canal and eardrum. The middle ear amplifies waves and consists of the hammer, anvil, and stirrup. The inner ear converts waves to nerve impulses and contains the cochlea.
All right, next heading, gathering sound waves, the outer ear and its page number. The human ear has three sections. You need to write this down. It has the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. So this whole section is known as the outer ear. This tiny little section is the middle ear, and here we have the inner ear. So all of this. The outer ear is where the sound waves are gathered. So this is the ear canal. We always thought this was the sound waves were here before, but it actually takes all of this. The eardrum is a tough membrane about 0.1 millimeters thick. When incoming sound waves reach the eardrum, they transfer their energy to it and it vibrates back and forth. The inner ear contains a cochlea, which is a spiral-shaped structure that is filled with liquid and contains tiny hair cells. When the tiny hair cells in the cochlea begin to vibrate, nerve impulses are sent through the auditory nerve to the brain, through here and then to the brain. I do want you to write down that there is an image of an ear on page blank and that you need to study that. And for the quiz, the essential questions are, how does sound travel through different mediums? What affects the speed of sound? How does your ear enable you to hear? And our new vocabulary words are eardrum and cochlea.
There are three kinds of hearing loss that a person can have. One is called neurosensory or sensory neural, sometimes called nerve hearing loss. Nerve hearing loss is probably a misnomer because it's rarely the nerve. It's almost always the little hairs inside the organ of hearing that aren't converting the mechanical energy into electrical energy. The most common cause of an inner ear or neurosensory hearing loss is an age-related and genetically determined hearing loss. As we get older, we all lose some hearing. And the degree of that hearing loss is very variable. There are individuals in their late 50s and early 60s who have a rather severe loss and need amplification in the form of a hearing aid. And there are others who live into their 80s and 90s that have remarkably good hearing. Other causes of hearing loss include viral infections, genetic disorders, and rarely a benign tumor on the nerve of hearing and balance called an acoustic neuroma. If you have a benign tumor on the nerve of hearing and balance called an acoustic neuroma, you will generally have a hearing loss in only one ear. And a hearing loss in one ear should be more alarming to you than in both ears, because it brings up the possibility of a tumor such as an acoustic neuroma. The second type of hearing loss is a mechanical one. We call it a conductive hearing loss because there's a problem with the mechanism that conducts the sound from the outside to the inside. A lump of wax will cause a mechanical hearing loss. A problem with your eardrum will cause a mechanical hearing loss. A problem with the little bones of hearing will cause a mechanical hearing loss. Fluid inside your middle ear will cause a mechanical hearing loss. And the third type of hearing loss is called mixed, a little bit of each.
Okay, so what I would like you to do, get you back to where I want you here. What you need to do in your notes is write down just a little blip about each of those three types of ear loss and have that in your notes so that I can check it. Thanks.